Hey everyone, I'm back and I'm going to have another review for you guys here. Today we'll be reviewing my old phone versus my new phone. And so let's get started with it. First I'm going to go over the boxes, what they look like a year or two ago, what they look now. I do not have my Cricket Engage LT box. I misplaced it, I don't know where it's at. So I just have my ZTE score box from like 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm ashamed to own this phone, but no, seriously, I own this phone. It was really not that good of a phone. I mean, it lasted me a year, surprisingly, but it was not that good of a phone. For my first smartphone, it was good, it was nice, but I would never do this again. I would never get this smartphone like this again. When I went to the Cricket store 2 years ago, this was free though, because I opened up my own account, because I was on my parents' account, and then I opened up my own account and got this phone for free, which you can't go wrong with a free phone. You know, I go wrong with anything for free. And this is what the new boxes look like. The new boxes look like. This is for my new phone. As you can see, the back is where they have the phone, the picture of the phone. These are different. Instead of just setting them on the side, they set them on the front, and then they have all the stuff inside underneath. I like this design a lot better. The boxes look better. There's nicer colors to it. I even like the logo better as well. I don't know why, but I like the logo better. It's a better logo. And also, what I got when I was at the Cricket store recently, I bought a phone case for my phone, my new phone, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of people tricking me into buying something that I don't need, which I did not need a phone case, but somehow the woman was like, "You want a phone case?" And I was like, "Sure." You know, I fell for it. But $20 for this phone case when I could have bought one online for a lot cheaper. But it actually is worth the money, and I'll tell you why. I'll show you why later on. So let's get into talking about the phones. Okay. First up, it's Cricket Engage LT. Now, I bought this phone last year in August. I had it a little over a year now. I think it was like a year and 2 weeks or something like that, or a year and 3 weeks or something like that. Anyways, it was near the end of August last year that I got this phone, and it lasted me pretty good because I had my ZTE score for over a year. But the battery finally went because what was wrong with it was that it had to be on the charger all the time or it wasn't working, which I was like, why? I mean, I don't understand. But anyways, so this phone, how this phone stopped was the touchscreen stopped working. So it's not on, it's dead right now. So I charged it up, but it died again because for some reason the battery is like really going down far now. I charged it for like 30 minutes and it's died already. So I don't know what's wrong with it, but that's okay. So let's go over it. This phone runs Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich. It's a nice step up from Android 2.3 Gingerbread, which what I had on my ZTE score, which that operating system was just by far one of the worst. I mean, that was the only one. That's the first one I dealt with. So my experience was not all that great. But my experience was pretty great. It worked. It was fast. It was reliable. It was dependable for the first few months, and then after that, it started getting slow and glitchy and laggy. And well, I had like this holds a lot of storage. Surprisingly, I had like 30 different apps downloaded on here, and it still had more storage available. Which I was like, wow. So this is surprising. This is what the difference is between my phone here and my new phone is that well, this holds more storage, which I don't understand why it does, but it does. It holds way more storage than this phone that I have right here, and I'll go over it. The LG Optimus L70. It's a lot nicer. This runs Android KitKat 4.4.2. Well, this runs Android 4.0.1 or 2 or 3. I don't know. I'm not sure. But either way, it runs Ice Cream Sandwich. So the difference between these two phones is, okay, first off, I want to let you know I do not downgrade. So when I went for my ZTE Score, which had no front-facing camera and a 3.5-inch screen, and Android 2.3, this was an upgrade. 4-inch screen, Android 4.0, and it has a front-facing camera. So that's an upgrade right there. And with this was an even bigger upgrade. It has a front-facing camera as well, but it's a 4.5-inch screen, and it runs Android KitKat 4.4.2. So that's definitely an upgrade from this. Now, I would have been. Now, they had other phones there that were in the 4s, like 4.1 or 4.2 or 4.3 or something like that, that weren't KitKat. And those would have been an upgrade, no matter what. I mean, if they were at least 4 inches and they had a front-facing camera, they would have been an upgrade. But this was a good upgrade to go for a bigger screen. And every year I try to get, I go for an upgrade, of course. But this phone is definitely a bigger upgrade than what I was planning on getting. I wanted to get the Moto G, or no, actually I wanted to get the Nokia Lumia 1320. I was gonna wait till November and then buy it, but this phone stopped working. The touch screen on it stopped working. Like I had to press down really hard on the bottom, like to almost break my phone to get the touch to work. And I don't want to have to do that. So I was like, my phone's pretty much broke. So my parents were like, okay, we'll go get you a new. We'll go take you so you can get a new one. So I went and I got a new one. And I wanted to get the Nokia Lumia, but that was $279, which I don't have that type of cash right now. I'm not saying that I'm poor or that I'm rich. I'm kind of in between, but I have money to spend that money on some other things too. So I don't want to spend that much money. So this was the perfect price, $99, and so how big of an upgrade was it? Let me ask you that. The upgrade was pretty big. I experienced ice cream sandwich and gingerbread, the two that are very outdated. Now Jelly Bean is still in date, as in like all phones run at least Jelly Bean now or up. So if it was Jelly Bean, it would have been an upgrade. It would have been a nice upgrade. But to upgrade to Jelly Bean and then KitKat and then to go slowly when they were past it, like whenever I got my ZTE Score, they were already on Jelly Bean 4.0. I think they were already on Jelly Bean 4.0. But I was kind of just starting out, so I just wanted a phone that I could just do anything on, except, of course, take pictures of my front-facing camera that didn't have one, but this one does. So, I really took advantage of that because I used it for Skype, Uvu, even Snapchat, even like Kik and stuff like that. I took front-facing pics on Kik with this. So it really is nice to have. Besides, whenever you're taking a selfie, it's a lot nicer, or whenever you're taking a picture of yourself, it's a lot nicer to have that front-facing camera because you can see the actual picture rather than when you have like this and you're like, where is the picture at? Like, is it on my face? Or, you know, it's a lot better to do that. Or you're sitting in front of a mirror and people can see your phone while you're taking a picture of it like this. Whereas front-facing cameras are nice because you can see yourself in the picture when you're taking it. Now let's go over it. Since we can't go over the hardware on this, we'll go over the hardware on this. Now, there's 3 ways to turn your phone on with this. You can either use the power button and slide it like that, or you can use the home button, although it's unlocked. I don't know why it's unlocked stuff sometimes, where you don't have to unlock it all the time. Or you can simply turn your phone on by tapping twice. That's a nice feature. 3 different ways to turn your phone, which is nice because you could do a different way, 3 different ways every time, and you wouldn't have to be like, oh, I do this. It's like, oh, this is sickening. This is tiring doing it. Which you get tired from doing it with your phone every once in a while. I know I do. I know I did with this phone. I got tired of like okay, blah blah. That's how you unlock blah. You know, I want some variety here. I want some other ways of unlocking your phone. So you have down here you have the 4 passive touch buttons: the home, menu, back, and search. Most phones nowadays don't have 4 buttons. They have 3, at least 3, or maybe even 2, or maybe even 1. Whereas this LG has the big home button in the center, which lights up, which has LED lights when it's charging, when you have a message, or a missed call, or a voicemail, or a notification from like Facebook or something. It lights up and lets you know that you have something. So even if you have your phone on silent, or you're in the middle of something and you can't talk right now, or something like that, and you wait and your screen goes off, you're like, I don't know if I have a message or not, but I'm not gonna check my phone right now. But you can tell if you have it, if with this LED light, and this is a nice feature. That's something new that I like about this phone. I also like the screen. The screen size is bigger. It's I have my Walking Dead background on there. The only problem I have is that the storage is like, it's not that big. Trust me, they only have like 4 gigabytes of onboard storage, and you only get to use like 1.5 gigabytes. So that's kind of like a downgrade. It's kind of like a one con that is wrong with it. One thing that's wrong with it. Other than that, I like it. It's fast. Oh, the other thing. No, there's something else I don't like about it. It only has 3 screens. That, and that. I like to download a lot of apps on this Quick and Engage. I had about 30 apps downloaded. I had like Snapchat, Kick, Netflix, Huntington Bank, Crackle, what are some other things? Pandora, Facebook, Meet Me, Chatter, or not Chatter. I was thinking about something. And some other apps, like this video chatting app as well. I can't remember the name of it. I'm actually gonna try and look that up. So I had like 30 different apps, at least 30 apps on here, and there was like a Walmart app, an Amazon app, a Best Buy app, a BH Photo app I had at one time. I once had a GameStop app, but that was a terrible app. It's not that good. It doesn't tell you the prices of the items when you're looking for them. And what else? I'm trying to think of what other kind of apps were on there. Oh, there was Zever, which is ringtones, wallpaper, anything like that. There was that on there. There was an MP3 music download app. So I had like a whole bunch of apps. Now here I'm very limited with apps because I can barely put any on my I have an 8 gigabyte SD card in here, but you know how the Play Store is with, you know how Google is with apps. Like they don't let you put certain apps on your SD card. Like if I could put most of them on there, like Facebook and all that, I would do it. But most apps do not let you put it on your SD card. Or else I would, and I have tons more space. But so far I have Snapchat, Facebook, Netflix, Hulu Plus, and have that on my other phone. But I have a Hulu Plus account. Skype, Kick, WordChumps, Pandora, Wikipedia, Uvu, and Perfect Music MP3 downloader, Huntington app, and I think that's all of them. Yeah, that is all of them. That is all my apps. So I mean, I'm fine with all this. It says I have 855 megabytes free. Okay, now it says 891 megabytes free. It has to go up and down. But that's not a lot. But it'll get me by. Oh, another thing. A thing that's remarkable about this phone. I plug it in the charger overnight. When I wake up in the morning, I unplug the charger, and it lasts me all day. Like the past 2 or 3 days, it lasted me like from 8 o'clock in the morning to like 12 o'clock at night, and the battery's still going. I'm like, how is it still going? And I always having a Wi-Fi, either Wi-Fi or 4G, so it's always going. And surprisingly, it lasts pretty long, which is another advantage that I like about that. I just want another brand other than like some really shitty Cricket phones, because the ZTE Score was a shitty Cricket phone, and the Cricket Engage LT, it wasn't that bad, but it was a Cricket made phone, so it was like made by Cricket themselves. This was made by LG, which is a trusted brand. I know LG. I mean, I've had their products, but they're a better brand than Cricket and ZTE. ZTE and Cricket are probably two of the worst phone company places that make phones on their own. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Cricket. Cricket is the best phone service I've had. The only phone service I've had, other than prepaid phones, before I started with Cricket. But that was like so long. That was like 8 years ago or something like that. So, or like 6 years ago. But since then, I've got Cricket for like 5 or 6 years, and I love it. I would never go with any other service other than Cricket, ever. I was actually trying to go for I actually went to T-Mobile in the mall last week before I got this phone, because my other phone was like pretty much gone. And I was checking out T-Mobile phones, and I tried to get my see about my credit, and the guy said, "Oh, you have to pay for a phone up front." Well, guess what? I don't have the type of money to pay for a phone up front. Now, do I? I don't think so. So I said I asked for a 2-year plan. None of my phones have lasted 2 years, so that wouldn't work out. Although I think if you pay them off, I don't think you don't have to have the phone for 2 years, because you just have to have the plan for 2 years. So I don't know. Let's just go over this case, because you know this video is getting to be pretty long. So this case is nice. The phone just slides in there. It's a pretty hard shell, so if you drop it like this, it's not going to hurt your phone. It's not going to damage your phone. It might slide a little bit. The only problem I have is that, like, the thing that worries me is when I slide it in, like, the buttons kind of like tend to move around, and they're kind of wobbly right now. So I watch when I plug this in. When I put it in here, I only try to put it in here once or twice. When I go somewhere, I usually put it in here. I don't put it in here unless I do, because I don't need to, honestly, and I don't like to just have my phone like this around the house like that. It just is inconvenient for me. So I just like to hold, when I'm in the house, I just like to, when I'm home, I just like to do that. Oops, the phone screen turned on. So anyways, so why is it worth buying? Well, it's pretty nice. It's leather. It will protect your phone, and it has a camera in the back, so you can still take your pictures. And even if you're in a call, you can close your phone up and be like this. Yeah, that's nice, right? But here's the feature. I found this out a couple days ago. I mean, I think I always knew this was here, but it's a card holder. Put your cards in there. So let's see. I can fit up to 4 cards in there. So there's my ID in there. Yes, I don't know how much ID yet, but I'm going to be getting it soon. There's my ID. There's my 1 debit card. We're going to put that in there. We're going to put my other debit card in there. Yes, I have debit cards because I have lots of money. And we're going to put my student ID in there. That's my student ID right there. That's all the amount of cards you can fit in there. But with that being said, instead of having to take my wallet around with me everywhere, it's always nice to have just that phone case like that, where you can just slide your cards in there, and you always have them with you, no matter what. And it always still lasts. It's nice. It's a nice phone case. But I would not spend $20 on this phone case. Do not spend $20 on this phone case. So with that being said, that's the end of my review. If you go to Cricket, pick up this phone, LG Optimus L70. Either that or pick up the Moto X, because that was my second choice other than the Nokia Lumia. but this was not one of my choices. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this phone because it looks nice, and it's gonna be nice. Although ZTE Grand X would have been my third choice, because it's big, it's 5 inches, and that's bigger than the Moto G or the LG. But honestly, surprisingly, it was only Android 4.3. So this was Android 4.4. So I decided to go for the one that was updated more because I like a more updated version. So it was less. So why not? I can settle for a small screen. Next time I'll get a bigger screen. Anyways, catch you guys later. Let me know. Oh, in the comments, I want to see what I want you to comment and see what. Let me know what phone you guys have. Just like and subscribe, and catch you guys later.